I'm a scat man.
You can't tell me you don't love the Scat Man.
Yeah, it's good.
You got that right.
Yes.
Yeah, all right.
Oh, jeez.
Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John Clink.
Clink. On the couch as always, producer Cara Tafolla. Give us a
Why'd you
wave.
hesitate?
Give us a wave there, Cara Tafolla.
Yeah, she's on a different
She's on
level
a tirade right now.
She really is.
And on the Tafolla this week, Annie the Skovmand.
Tahava. It
Would
will
you-
cure all your diseases.
Would you prefer the Skov, just like plain?
No,
The
do whatever you
Skov.
want.
Oh, you can't.
My dad was Skov. That way, he worked in a newspaper. He was a photojournalist, and that was like his thing. Is like everyone was like
Skov.
Skov.
No way. Really?
Yeah, all his like
Your dad
equipment.
doesn't seem like the kind of guy that would like that, though.
My dad will never tell you he doesn't like it, but secretly he'll be
Oh,
like,
he lies
like
awake
Jimmy,
at night.
Like Jimmy, he won't correct you, but he'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's the guy who called me Jimmy."
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I
Like-
kind of hear that, and you're like, oh, they call me the Skov here, but I hate it. You know what I'm saying?
See,
Like,
he doesn't
you're not
hate it.
into
It's just kind of like, oh, Skov's
So
easier than like.
Skov, not like he earned the. It was just Skov.
No, yeah, I
See,
can
this
be
is
the
like-
Skov, and he can be Skov.
Gives me.
Well, did you earn the? I don't know. I'm not sure yet.
The
I don't know if
hell,
you-
man? You
I
think I
don't
didn't
know.
earn the?
I don't know. We'll
Hey,
find out. Huh?
Well, cheers to us.
Bottoms up. One of these days, it's gonna get easier.
No, no.
That was old
Wait,
Forester?
we had such a good thing. Yeah, it's Old Forester. You know, that's one of the only distilleries that was open during Prohibition,
Oh, really?
and they actually sold Old Forester as medicine.
I will say that this is a lot smoother than some of the stuff we've taken in the last.
Pretty
couple
nice,
weeks.
huh?
Yeah, it's not as bad, but
Yeah. Well,
Your parents ever give you some kind of booze as medicine as a kid?
no.
To make you go nana?
my dad used to get the like finger dipped in a little whiskey on the tongue. Like, okay, good night, baby.
Really?
night,
You never
baby.
got it?
I never got that.
Oh, really? I got peppermint schnapps as cough syrup,
Wow.
which I'll
Wait,
tell
what?
you. To this day, I can't have peppermint
Yeah,
schnapps
of
in
course.
in hot chocolate.
That's
because
fair.
it's like
Yeah, because your
medicine.
brain's like, this
Take
is
your
medicine.
medicine.
But I'll say that was my dad's like little trick. When I was older, I like
Okay, all
I
right,
hit
he's
like double
backpedaling.
digits. It was
You hear
like
that?
10 and
Sure,
up.
right.
It was like 10
right.
up,
Little
but yeah,
cough syrup.
that was
Why not?
peppermint schnapps.
No, just follow me for a second. Why not just cough syrup?
Yeah, I don't get it.
Don't know. It works. It works magic. You got to cough.
Well, yeah,
take a
because it
shot
makes
of
your whole
peppermint
body
schnapps.
probably numb as a
It does.
kid.
It like coats your throat. I don't know what it does.
You guys,
Does something.
It coats your throat?
you guys
What?
ever take Benadryl?
Yes.
Dude, last time I took Benadryl, knocked me down completely. I was like I felt like I passed away. Maybe.
When
Like,
I-
Have you
This-
ever taken like NyQuil and then tried to like work through it? Like, you know, not
Never had
obviously
NyQuil.
go to lay down because NyQuil makes you supposed to make you sleepy. You ever
Sure.
tried to like power through NyQuil?
no.
Oh, it's rough.
That's like powering through when I
Yeah,
got
I
my
get super
wisdom teeth
groggy.
taken out, and
Oh,
like
yeah.
what is it? The anesthesia
Sure.
literally
Yeah.
was like fighting it so hard. And,
You
like,
were?
waiting. Yes.
Really?
What'd you
Really?
count to?
What'd you count to? Yeah.
The bad part is I don't even remember.
Yeah. Well,
She's like one.
guess you didn't fight so hard.
I don't know. We didn't count at all. He kept asking me questions.
That's probably the
and
best.
then he was like,
for
"Okay, here it comes."
Totally.
That's gotta be one
It
of the
might
best
feel
parts
like
of the
you're gonna
job is doing that.
pee.
You know.
And I was like, "Okay." And then it happened. I was like, "No." And then he kept asking me questions, and then
And then you woke
then
up.
I woke up.
Crazy.
Yeah, my Benadryl. My mom once. This does not look good for my.
She just
parents,
gives you
sorry.
vodka instead.
Yeah, forget Benadryl, whiskey. No, she gave me what she thought was the children's dose, but she realized
yeah.
it was like adult Benadryl.
Oh.
And so I knocked out for
Night-night.
like 14 hours. And my mom, I was like in a car seat, and my mom was like
my God.
hysterics, thinking like she killed me. She OD'd her daughter
She
on
just
Benadryl.
kept you in there though.
And my dad's brother is a pharmacist,
Yeah.
And so like they call my uncle and he was like, unless she's, operating heavy machinery tomorrow, she'll be fine. And I literally like conked
she's
out for almost a
11,
day.
so.
I was tried 3.
Oh, I was
like
she's
literally
3.
a child
She's
in a
not
car seat,
operating
like-
any heavy machinery, obviously.
You got some good sleep though. I'm sure your
Hey,
parents were thrilled.
Was rusted.
Dang.
Well,
Man.
speaking of well rested,
Yep.
I don't know.
Really? Oh,
What?
I thought you were
No.
gonna go straight into the Olivia
Same.
Newton-John.
Oh my God,
Me too.
no!
I thought you were gonna say
I was
speaking
gonna
of
transition
transition.
to- I was going to
Someone
transition
who's
to Donald
sleeping a lot
Trump.
these days.
Just to be clear, I was
God.
transitioning to Donald Trump.
Daniel.
Fine. Now we're talking about it. Unfortunately, we learned this week about the passing of Olivia Newton-John.
Are you guys
Legends.
that close with her? Like you didn't think
I
that joke
loved
was
her.
funny? I thought that was
I loved her.
hilarious.
I thought it was funny.
Yeah, she's the best, man. Really, you're going to talk bad about Olivia
Well,
Newton-John?
that's what you're making it seem like. Like, oh, we shouldn't use that joke against
Yeah, that's
Olivia Newton-John.
Kind of an interesting transition there. It's a good one.
Yeah,
Good
yeah.
one. Write it down. Write it down. Look, you ever seen Grease, John?
Oh yeah, plenty of times.
You ever
I
seen
love,
Grease?
seen
I
Grease.
love that movie.
It has
Yeah.
such a
So
bad
good.
message.
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Oh, all the messages are bad.
All of them.
It's
but
awful.
At the end of the day,
Change
it's
who
like,
you are to be
change
a
who
better-
you are for someone you like.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not a good message anymore. That's not a thing.
Yeah,
you
pretty
Throw
do
away
around.
all your morals.
Pretty
Just
rough.
like be
Smoke
better for
the
yourself,
cigarettes
not
and
for
wear the
some
short shorts.
love
Get
interest.
pregnant.
Yeah,
Get
that's kind
pregnant.
of I see. I never took it as. I thought the whole thing is kind of like this farce, right? Like they're obviously not like realistic teenagers. They're adults, right?
Yes.
So
They're
the
like
whole thing
30.
is supposed to be kind of goofy, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, true.
I
It's
don't
kind of like Riverdale, right? Like it was
like
it was-
Riverdale.
in the sense like they're trying to convince us that they're teenagers, and we're all like, these are 25
but
year
it's
old
like
humans, right?
intentionally kind of campy. It's like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
like we're the greases, like you know.
With the great
I love
stuff.
that.
Oh, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, Sandy, when you left me, you hurt my heart real bad, Sandy. Oh,
I love
No.
it. Can I say that?
Yeah,
I love
no,
how
lightning.
no.
you're.
Nope.
It's well, you,
You
guys.
are-
Okay, hold on. Everyone, close your eyes. Everyone, close your
Okay,
eyes.
I'll close my eyes.
Thank you.
I'll close
Thank
my
you.
eyes.
Close your eyes.
Close
Okay.
my eyes.
Well, this car's systematic. It's hydromatic. It's automatic. Why? It's grease lightning.
I would say who
Right?
has the
Can
gun
you-
to
can
its
Can you
head?
try and not
Who
do
is
it without
John
moving your
Travolta?
shoulders?
No, he moves his shoulders the whole movie.
Who
Thank
is
you.
John Travolta?
Ding, 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 ding. Correct. Correct.
Can I say that what I love
Go
about
ahead.
you? One of the things I love about you
Yes.
is that you are fearless in when you're doing impressions. Like
Yeah.
you just go 100. I can never do that. I
gotta
can
do
never
it.
go into
You'll
an
never
impression
convey
like
it
that.
if you have to, John
And
Travolta.
you do so well.
Oh, Sandy, when you left,
Never
you
forget
hurt my
Nicolas
heart real
Cage.
bad.
Nicolas and Cage and John Travolta have
John,
a.
it's time to settle down. Oh, but Nick, Sandy, what about the prom? What about grease lightning? Right, Come
Cara,
on.
that's a good
You've gotta admit
impression.
that's good.
Really?
is
Come
hurting
on.
me.
What?
Olivia
How is it
Newton-John
hurting you?
is sad. right
Yeah,
now.
well, I'm not impersonating her. So.
Yeah, John Travolta's still alive.
Yeah, poor thing. You know, she dealt with breast cancer her entire life.
Yikes.
Like since like the 80s or 90s or something.
Literally her entire life.
Yeah, pretty
Wow.
rough.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was just telling you guys on the way here, I found out in the most secondhand way you can find out. I was like scrolling social media and there was one of those like articles from one of those trash, news
TMZ or something.
yeah, whatever. It's like
Sure.
their articles are all like awful and usually not true. But one of it came up and it was like John Travolta's touching memorial for his co-star Olivia Newton-John. And I go, is Olivia Newton-John
passed
dead?
away?
So I Googled it and I found out she died yesterday. But I'm like, I didn't even see the first article, which was like
so
Olivia
rough.
Newton-John dies. You know what I'm saying? But I guess I wasn't on social media yesterday. So
Well, good for you.
I was sleeping half the day. I worked the night shift on Sunday. So
Hey, I also
Sleep
wasn't
out
on
anyway.
social media. I found out listening to the radio.
Oh wow.
That's surprising because you're
Oh,
always
It was
on
so
social
sad.
media.
Literally on the radio, it was like so sad to hear the passing of such a legend at age
How old
73.
was she? 73.
Okay,
that's kind of
Age 73.
Hollywood
And then
old,
they,
right?
they literally
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about her breast cancer journey. And I was like, who are they talking about? And then they went, the beloved Olivia Newton-John. I was like,
Oh,
and I called
sad.
him and I called my mom.
You called Ryan.
Yes.
Oh my God. Okay.
And then I called
That's the
my
difference
mom.
between our relationships. Is Jordan probably doesn't know and won't know and doesn't care at all, and I would
she'll
never call
learn
her.
I
with
called
anything
my
like
mom
that.
and I went,
Like
did
in
you
a
hear the
trivia
sad
competition
news?
or
something.
And she went, yeah. You mean about Olivia Newton-John, right? I was like,
Did you hear the other
yes.
sad news?
She's like, oh yeah, no, I heard that sad news. Yeah, no,
She
don't worry
goes,
about the other one.
she goes, yeah, you know, Trump in his Mar-a-Lago estate got raided. You're like, no, different bad
the
news.
other bad news.
No, she probably doesn't even know about that.
That's
Well,
funny.
let's talk about that. This
Yeah.
may be dated. He may have already gone to prison by now, but today is Tuesday.
Who?
Trump.
Really?
President Donald Trump.
He's not going
I
to
mean, when this
prison.
comes
He's not
out.
gonna go
Oh.
prison.
Not going to prison.
Last
Maybe.
night in the wee hours of Monday evening, right? I think
Yeah.
was it last night or the night
I
before?
think it was the night, Sunday night.
Maybe it was early Monday morning.
But he wasn't there.
He wasn't there, but the FBI, you know, they launched a full investigation.
Yeah, I kind of wonder how
Mar-a-Lago.
a raid of that kind of stature goes, because I mean, I'm sure they did kind of go in guns blazing, but like, if
They
it's
said
not,
it was on the news. They said it was the highest caliber like raid that the FBI has ever done in a political thing like this.
Oh,
like,
really?
Biggest raid they've ever
Why?
done.
Because I feel like you know, I mean, obviously the police know what they're doing to some extent. Like if it's a violent offender, you obviously go in pretty heavy with like artillery. But like with something like this, I'm like, I feel like they just got to knock on the door.
Oh no!
right?
FBI is like, and he probably knew it was coming too. FBI knocks on your door and they go, "We're going to take everything we think is interesting," and they do, and they can do it. Like they have the full
raided-
jurisdiction to
and
it.
he wasn't there. And I kept thinking of the staff there that like, you know, probably like know nothing about anything.
Sure.
And then all of a sudden the FBI just pops up, and there's probably, I imagine there's a lot of
Yes.
FBI agents just start going through everything. The staff is probably like, what the heck is going on?
Correct me if I'm wrong, Annie, because you're doing a little research here, but it's under the guise that he has, before he left the White House, he took several pretty pertinent documents with him,
Yeah.
and he was maybe selling them to Russia. Was like
The investigation.
The
So
investigation.
yeah, they invaded it with the hopes to find documents from the White House. Like that's the whole
Anything.
reason. Like, well, that's what
Regarding
they're
anything.
looking for.
because he's
So-
on investigation because of the whole January 6th thing,
Yeah.
right? That's
But that's not
kinda
a part
what's
of
going
this
on.
raid, right?
Oh,
No, this is so the FBI has collected, like I was reading, and they've confiscated and seized different congressional members' cell phones, documents from their offices. So I think it's by the collection of those documents have led them to believe that he has documents in connection with that, and that's collecting all the other evidence is what gave them the warrant to go and
cause.
and seize the
Interesting.
stuff, because it's probably without with the reasonable doubt that he has those documents. Like one of the congressmen was talking about how they seized his cell phone, and he was saying that he's like, I have stuff about my legislator on there, yeah, but I also have personal discussions with my wife, and
Yeah.
you know, this
Sure.
is invasion of privacy, blah, blah. But it's also like, yeah,
That
but if
happens
you
in
have
court cases all the time.
sure.
right, but if you have evidence saying, oh yeah, hey Trumpy Trump, you still got those top secret documents you stole,
Yeah.
okay, cool,
Hey,
me
send
too.
them on over.
Yeah, then I understand their need to find those messages, but also I get the invasion of privacy to a degree. It's kind of
mean,
weird, right? That they
are
can
you-
just go in and take anything they want.
Well, it's all under the Patriotism Act.
Yeah,
or
are
something
you
like that.
ever correct me if I'm wrong again. Are you ever entitled to privacy in the the Constitution?
No.
Are you ever
Oh,
I
I thought you were
have
gonna
the
say
You mean
the
as a
White
government
House.
employee, like as the president?
As
I
anybody
would
in-
say
in
it
the-
would fall under the Quartering Act, where you can't, the government can't invade your home in the sense of quartering soldiers and stuff, force them way into
would
their
it
home.
fall under that?
I think it would fall under
investigation
that.
of your,
It would be
Well,
what, the
I think it's national security. If it's
Yes.
if it's top secret documents, if it truly is that, it would probably fall under the national security because there's a Patriotism Act, right? That
Yes.
allows them to do things in the name of national security, correct?
Sure.
So
I think that
it would
was
probably
following
fall under
9/11,
that, right? It would fall under that in that sense, because if he really does have documents that are, top high level secrecy, then that would make sense why they would be concerned.
It's
And
funny-
it would make sense that he would have them because he was just president, right? I
It just
Yeah.
caught me off guard so much because it sounded to me oh yeah, he just, I would assume multiple presidents would do that, right? Presidents,
Well, I also
Well,
think at
that's the
some
whole-
point
they're-
it has
they're
your
corrupt,
own personal
right? So it's
information.
That's the whole thing about. That's what Trump's kind of saying from his side is any other president that wasn't as controversial as
Yes.
Trump wouldn't necessarily be under the thumb. Now, to be fair, Trump has done a lot of things to keep himself in the kind of scope of,
Yeah.
national security, people being concerned about it. You know, he is like kind of an erratic guy, and that's not, and he would probably say that. I don't know, but like. So I think Trump's thing is like, well, they wouldn't go after like Bush and like raid Bush's estate.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like maybe just because it is so blatant, like this whole, January 6th thing happened, and he's just such a
January
like you
6th
said, like
changed
such a
the tide for
major,
him. I think
Yeah.
he was very much on the fence, and then January 6th happened. And I think a lot of Republicans are like, we want nothing to do with you now. I think he
Hard to
burned a
say.
lot of
I
bridges
don't-
with that.
So here's my thing. Here's my, skeptic's view of it.
Give us your hot take,
Is
Annie.
he's the 2024 election, you're going to start really campaigning now. So having this happen at the beginning, having this in his mind, if they can hold it off and get any sort of charge that would bar him from running again, because truthfully, I think if he ran, he'd get the Republican ticket.
Sure.
Well, yeah,
Oh,
it'd be hard to see
yes.
anybody else
Yeah.
get it. Yeah, that's true.
So like I think that this, though maybe they do have like a motive of justice behind whatever.
They're trying to bar him from running.
I think they're trying to bar him from running.
The FBI, you think?
Well,
It can.
Well, it's
don't know.
all centralized.
It's
I mean,
all
when you talk
centralized. I
about
think-
because Biden's in
think, like-
power. Biden
Well,
has all the
it's-
But aren't they
gotta
a
think-
separate entity? Like they don't really.
Oh, they're
So I
the
feel
president
like
appoints
I'm
all
gonna
those
connect
heads of
this-
state.
I'm going to connect this to another former scandal, the Monica
Okay.
Lewinsky thing.
Sure.
The whole reason that affair came out was a former, who was it? Bush, right? Bush? Before Clinton, yeah.
Okay.
Former Bush worker, Linda, whatever the hell.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm tracking. I'm
Linda,
tracking.
whatever, wanted Clinton impeached, and so
Okay.
she did it with the hopes in
She
which
released it.
Yeah, she released it, recorded all the conversations she had under the guise of friendship with Monica Lewinsky, and released all the tapes of her admitting to having an affair with him in the
What
hopes
a
that
bitch.
he would get impeached and not be able to run for whatever.
Yeah.
You think so?
That she said that.
Oh,
she has
that's
admitted
fact.
that.
Oh, I missed that.
So that's fact.
Yeah.
So I think it like at some point, even if it's not from the highest up, people in that world have alternative motives.
Yeah, I
And
never
they're
thought
willing
about
to kind
that.
of like expose things in order to get what they want in the long
I
run,
think about
knowing that it
the
holds a
election
lot of
run.
weight.
I will say I don't think that Trump's going to jail over this. I think
No.
He'll pay his way out.
Definitely not anytime soon.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I don't know. Like
Is
when you
Shakira
raid
going to
somebody's
jail? Who knows?
house. I'm sorry.
We'll get back to that.
Okay.
What?
We'll circle back.
I
to that.
also feel like I don't feel like Trump is not necessarily Trump, but I think Trump's people is smart enough to bury those documents, not just at Mar-a-Lago where he goes to play golf.
Like that would be the obvious thing,
that
right?
would be
Like,
so ridiculous.
We cracked open Trump's safe, and there was like the smoking gun to this
Is that
whole
the same
thing.
golf course that he buried his wife, ex-wife?
Yes.
The same one,
Crazy. I think so. Right.
Yeah, his ex-wife passed away a couple weeks ago.
and they buried her
And they buried
at
her
the golf
at
course.
the golf course.
At Mar-a-Lago.
What if the
Did she,
what
like-
if the things are
Wait,
in
like,
her
oh,
grave?
They buried her.
Okay, so we will. This is the record. We won't do this to Olivia Newton-John, but we're doing it to.
No, to Ivana.
Ivana Trump.
Yeah, Ivana Trump. They
Oh.
buried her, and it's a crazy picture. Maybe we'll pull it up later. But
Yeah.
like, it's like literally looks like a cartoon like gravesite, like a mound of dirt and a headstone, like on a golf course. It's so crazy.
What is that?
That's
My
interesting.
question is that where she wanted to be
Probably
buried?
not.
Oh, who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I think they were pretty cordial. I mean, not in the beginning of their divorce, but I think towards
mean-
the end, they had 3 kids together. I can't imagine that.
And she was probably getting some pretty good
she
alimony
was getting
payments.
alimony
Oh,
for
she was
sure.
fine.
Yeah, yeah.
She lived in
was fine.
like a penthouse suite in New York. Is
Yeah, he
where
prob-
she lived.
I mean, like if you had that money to go, like I would not even like. Let's not go to court. Let's not settle. What do you want? You want a penthouse? Yeah, here you go. You want
know-
what? Like, yeah, here you go. Like, just give it to her.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
save yourself the headache.
Well, and they had 3 kids. I mean,
Yeah.
oof.
I think you're onto something with like this whole thing. Like Donald Trump's not just one loose cannon, right? He's a multi-billion-dollar business. We're talking
Oh,
maybe
yeah.
not billion, maybe multi-million-dollar.
Yeah.
And he's got a whole staff at Mar-a-Lago, and he's got he had his people helping him during the White House.
Is this not what he did to Hillary Clinton?
Totally.
Well, that's
Exactly
the
when
whole thing
she
too.
started
Is a
running?
whole spin-off about Hillary because in Trump's statement about the raid, he's like, Hillary, she deleted all those emails and nothing ever happened to her, which. I mean,
True.
brings
But
up
also-
a fair point. Like Hillary never, as far as we know, Hillary's property was never searched, and that is an. I'm not saying I'm
But he
pro
was-
Trump, but I'm just saying it is
here's my
interesting
thing.
that
he was
she
the
didn't
one
get that kind
promised
of.
she would go to jail. That was one of his running things. Is he was like, "Let me president, and Hillary Clinton will be in prison." bro, he never got her in prison.
Right.
Yeah.
He only had
So,
4
like-
years. If he had a couple extra years,
He's
if he
like,
got reelected, that was his next
I
order
feel
of
like
business.
that's like just every politician, right? It's like
Well, that's
there's
the whole
always
thing,
something.
right?
That,
Is
there's always 90% of the
These
stuff they don't
people
do. You
are
know?
in the business of shell game. So would you really like? That seems like the obvious next step would be like, oh yeah, raid Mar-a-Lago. Like, would Trump, as dense as he is, would he really be that stupid to just have like?
I don't think they're gonna find
pertinent
anything.
documents
But here's
in
the
this
thing.
country. Would they be anywhere in this country that they can access them?
I don't think he is that dense. I mean, like I was
can't
talking to
be,
you
right?
about that because the reality is when Obama first got elected, literally his first term, Trump went and trademarked "Make America Great Again." That phrase. He was thinking leaps and bounds ahead about running for
when who
president.
got arrested? When who got
Elected.
Obama got elected.
When
Obama.
Obama first got elected,
Obama
Trump,
gets arrested.
Obama got
a different
arrested?
Breaking
story.
news.
You heard it here first at your local news station.
Yeah, they're
We
listening-
break the news.
They're listening
But,
to us for news.
He was thinking leaps and bounds ahead. You don't think he thought, oh, the Democrats won the seat. They're going to come after me to try to bar me from running for president again? Of course he thought
Bro,
that
you
far
guys,
ahead.
they are not. I don't believe that Trump is having text conversations about the documents he stole. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No.
You don't
like
think
he's-
anyone's texting him, hey, Trumpy, what's up?
I don't think he's having anything on the record. Like, there's no way that they're saying that the warrant they got was from this judge who is linked to like a heavy Democratic contributor. Like,
I mean, duh.
and I'm not saying that that's wrong. I mean, that's just the reality. Like, Republicans would do
Yes.
the same thing. They'd get a warrant from a very conservative judge, right?
Yes.
But at the same time, like, that's how they got the warrant. It wasn't. I don't think it was because they had this like overwhelming sense of evidence. I
Sure.
think they were kind of doing the long shot and being like, let's go raid Mar-a-Lago because we know we can get to that.
Totally.
You know?
Yeah.
And I think it's all going to wash out. I really don't think nothing's going to come. I mean, maybe I mean,
who
Trump
knows?
has done crazier stuff. So he probably keeps it with him on him. I don't know, a little flash drive on his belt.
That's what I mean. There's got to be like, out in the. So that poses the question. So if you were the president, let's say you were just you, right? Where would you
I
hide
wanna
your
be president,
documents? You're about to get raided. The biggest raid in history after, there's Mar-a-Lago and then there's you, right? The the entire
so
FBI is
good.
coming for you.
Okay, I got it.
Okay,
Go ahead, John.
So there's these
And
are-
it's got to be you right now. Like, you're not the president. Like,
I know these
where
are
would you hide the
documents.
documents?
These are documents that I've had for a couple months. Then
Yeah. You've had
yes,
him for
the
a
blackmail.
while.
Because you've
Okay,
been
I have
blackmailing us.
them.
Maybe a year.
You've
and
been
I might
blackmailing
use
the
them.
FBI.
I might use them, but also I need a safe spot for them just in
safe
case
spot
they
for 'em.
come.
Yes.
I am the type of guy that I'm going to find a spot in my house that is easily accessible, but also really well hidden. I'm
Okay.
going to cut a piece of drywall near my front door out.
Okay.
I'm going to put the stuff in there. I'm going to repatch it, repaint it, everything. And that way, if I absolutely need access to the documents, which is probably not going to happen necessarily, just the idea that I have them is enough threat to just kind of push people into doing what I want, right? If I ever need access to them, I just punch the drywall, I grab it, and I go. But if anyone
punch
comes,
it.
Drywall.
or I cut the drywall back out.
No,
you know
you
what I'm
punch
saying?
it. No, you punch it.
I feel like
Punch it.
with a hammer,
You're about to flee
okay,
the country.
I'm
I wasn't
saying
going to do it with
John-
my
you've got the
hand.
rage.
No, I love the idea. Is
You're
John
done.
gets the call on his secret BlackBerry. He gets it
Yeah, it's BlackBerry.
He pulls out his BlackBerry, not his iPhone, his BlackBerry.
Yes.
And he goes,
And you're like, I've never even seen
got
that
it.
phone before.
right through the
That's
wall.
the secret phone, the
grabs
burner
the
phone.
document and literally says, "Jordan, grab the cash. Let's go."
Or
You
second
think
thing,
really? You think Jordan's in on it?
I think Jordan doesn't know
Hey,
anything, but
second-
she knows where the cash is.
let's
I
go,
second
know.
Jordan.
option, I've thought about this. Second option is it all fits on this little flash drive, right? Because like documents
Sure.
are no big deal.
You would take the risk to digitize it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I would unscrew the hinge on one
Okay.
of my doors, and I would route out just a little slot to slide the hard drive in. Screw the hinge back
Smart.
on. That way,
Ooh.
if I need to get to it, I just grab the drill, zzz, and I got my hard drive.
zzz.
Genius.
And no one's gonna tear the
Genius.
door off the
Genius.
wall. Like
Nobody.
what?
Who
when
would
they
do that?
search, they're literally just like searching for what's available. They're not gonna like take the drywall out. You know what I'm saying?
No, they wouldn't do
Yeah,
that.
Genius.
Let me tell you something
Thank
about
you.
myself. I was a big fan growing up of little hidey holes, little stash boxes and the whatnot.
Not growing up. You still are.
I still am. I
Growing
had
up,
in my
growing
in
up.
my childhood bedroom, I had this thing that we got, I think from my grandpa or like at a swap meet or whatever, and it was a wall safe that looked like an outlet. It looked like a power outlet. And so we cut a hole in the drywall, and then it would just like sit in there as a little like plug.
Your parents knew about it?
Unknowing. Yeah, oh, they knew about it, of course. Of course. No, I can't.
What if I die?
You think I'm just going around cutting drywall
What if
holes?
somebody goes through and tries to use the outlet?
No,
and
they
it
can't
doesn't
do
work?
it. They just can't. They're like, oh, bad outlet.
Bad outlet.
You know, put
Weird.
things in there. I'd carve out books, you know, like.
I always thought
had
the
that
book
going for a
idea
while.
was good.
I think that's interesting, but I think you're onto something with like an unsuspecting, like who's going to check the door hinge? Oh,
Yeah,
it's just a
that's
regular
genius.
no one's
Yeah.
gonna check it.
So
I found that from a show. So
let me
sorry.
see. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Criminal Minds.
No.
Oh, it's got to be no. It's the office.
I was also
probably.
thinking if I was rich like Trump,
Uh-huh.
I would commission like a desk with a bunch of hiding spaces.
Like-
you know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
so, like-
like a
Resolute
pop out
desk.
drawer.
Resolute
You know what I'm
desk.
saying?
Thank you.
Yeah, something like that. I would
Yes.
just because I feel like the FBI isn't taking the time to like sweep the sides of drawers to see if there's any like hidden buttons or whatever. I feel like having something
You think
like
the
that
FBI
could be kind of
wouldn't
cool.
do that? I think that
I don't think they're doing that good of a job on a sweep like
you
that.
know that there's some 25-year-old who somehow made his way as an FBI agent real early. Some,
Okay, you're
Savant,
are you writing
yeah.
a TV show about this? Because that's
No,
what it
it-
sounds like.
Ooh, okay.
trademark.
Trademark,
Yeah, yeah,
trademark.
patent that.
Mine.
And he's like, they're in the White House or whatever, in your house or whatever. And they're like, check the desk, the Resolute desk. He's a huge fan of National Treasure. Check the desk,
Yes,
and they
yes.
find it.
I-
But that's
here's
why I
my-
think
We're kind of
your
giving
door
away our
hinge,
secrets on this, so
genius.
Yeah.
hopefully we never.
Here's what I would do: is there's only one way to do this, and I'm sure Trump's done this. You got to have a self-destruct on it.
Oh, a delete.
A delete.
But nothing's ever
So
deleted.
like
It's all-
Banksy style.
It's Banksy style. It'll shred itself.
Shred itself.
But I'm gonna say I'll go as far as to say like I have a safe, so you know where I'm keeping the stuff.
Oh, okay.
But if I'm not opening it, right? If it's gonna have an eyeball scanner,
Eyeball scanner, casually. Get
and if
smart
my
style.
eyeballs don't scan, the minute you open that safe, poof,
That's
Explosion?
it's all
Smart.
gone. Explosion. It's got it. No, it's like combustion
But
paper.
what if you,
you know, like
send
that,
someone?
So you print it on combustion
all
paper.
handwritten by me.
What if you?
on like
what if you
flame
need
paper?
me to go get this?
Oh no, I
You
cannot.
can't.
I can't make
You don't know
responsible.
about it.
Cara,
There's
you
no
want to
way
be
you know
liable
about
for
it.
it?
It's just
Really? I'm
he-
bearing this burden for us.
He has to keep you safe.
Okay,
Cara.
we're
He would never
blackmailing
tell you for
John.
your protection.
Black-
We're blackmailing John, and if you
John.
know that, I never forgive myself.
Yeah.
Cara, where would you hide it?
You know,
The Mar-a-Lago
Interesting.
situation scenario.
I thought something
The
like
documents.
if you have this big house,
Okay.
like somehow get it like halfway up the chimney and like
If
tape
you gotta
it.
do it quick.
Like do
You're talking
like
about if it's quick
do
job.
like a secret little compartment up there.
Because again, you've had months. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
You've had
Oh,
months
yeah.
to plan this. So it's
Potentially
not,
years.
It's not like
Yeah.
you're getting rid of them quick.
So you climb up the chimney, and there's
and
it's
you're
like a
taping
little
it up there.
a brick, or yeah, is it like
What
a
if
Yeah,
somebody starts
like
a
a-
fire
or
in
like
the
No, it's like a
fireplace?
brick,
Okay,
like
hollowed
secret.
out brick.
Yeah,
That's
like
good.
put it in.
Hollowed out brick is good. I like
That's
that.
also
Because
a
then
National
it'll
Treasure
never.
reference.
It won't get set on fire. It won't.
Well, in a fireplace, it might.
That's
but-
right.
No,
Oh.
not if it's in the brick.
But really, okay, so that same intern's gonna check every brick in the chimney? No way.
No, I think
way.
it's a good idea. I'm just saying, like, on the inside of the chimney, that might be a little risky because what if somebody starts
Not
a
accessible
fire?
to you.
Yeah, it's not. That's
Which kind of brings up the most interesting point is would somebody ever have documents that like connected you to something shady? Would you ever physically have something that proves it? Like that's like drug dealer number 1 is like get
Don't
a
leave a
burner
paper trail.
get a burner phone. Don't leave a paper trail. Like
True.
you really think Trump would just like have that just like sitting around even in his safe? Like
that's why I don't
Well,
think
my-
they're gonna find anything.
My thing too with that is like, you know how many people, if it's like a true government document,
Yep.
there's like a whole paper trail of people it goes through. And you're telling me that
Library of Congress.
as the FBI, you don't just have a witness that is like the document says this. Maybe they do. Maybe that's why they are not saying it.
Maybe they have a
Okay.
witness that says like, I heard Trump say I'm gonna take these or something. You know, I
He
don't
said,
know.
pack these up.
Pack these up. I'm taking these.
Pack
tomorrow.
Ivanka,
Pack
grab
them up.
those.
Ivanka,
I'm taking
pack
these to
'em
Going to
up.
Mar-a-Lago. He literally says, I'm
Ivanka,
gonna take
take
these
those.
to my golf course. And
She
she's
was
been-
she was really
Top secret.
He was really married to Ivana, and they gave birth to Ivanka,
yeah, and
Is
he
that
also
like a
has
common,
made like weird comments about his
like,
daughter too.
Russian name
for
or
the
something?
record, but
Yeah.
I think
weird.
it is more common than.
like Joe and Joseph or something.
I don't know why. I was like kind of shocked when I found out she passed away a couple weeks ago. I was like, what?
Well, she fell down on the stairs, right?
But it's like a mystery
Yeah.
death, though.
It
fell
is.
down some
It's fully a
stairs.
mystery death.
It's
John,
crazy.
I joke to John all the time that I'm gonna help Jordan push him down the stairs and kill him.
The whole thing is, I watched this series. I talked about it on the show, right?
Yeah, the staircase.
The staircase. This
What?
guy has a wife, and they're like happily married, supposedly.
It was a famous
Okay.
writer.
Okay.
Oh yeah, famous writer.
Edgar Allan Poe.
And his all of a sudden he
Michael
calls
Peterson.
911. He's like, my wife fell down the stairs, and they come and they do this investigation, and right away the police are like, this is not
Normal.
like an accident. This
Oh,
he
weird.
killed
He like
her.
called like an hour later.
this like Dateline or
Super
something?
Weird.
Right. They did this whole investigation. He ends up going to jail for it, and then was like kind of exonerated like 8 or 10 years later. But like he had to plead guilty affidendo or something. What's the guilty verdict?
Affidendum?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Which means like you're pleading guilty, but you're not pleading guilty because you believe you're guilty. You're pleading guilty because you don't want to go through the due process of all that. So the DA gave him basically
And
they
like
made
time
him
served kind of thing.
and time served kind of thing. Yeah. And so then we have this large staircase at my apartment. And so we
Yeah.
watched me and Jordan watched this whole thing like episode by episode. And then I was making her angry or something, and she said like, we have a steep staircase, and I was like,
No.
right after we watched it,
Threatened your life,
No.
she's gonna
and
yeah.
Annie was in on it.
Well, now the joke is so John's neighbor is Ian, and I only know that because one time I saw his package with his name on it.
Yeah.
And so I
Yeah,
always go,
they are really weird about the neighbor, which by the way is whatever.
Okay.
We'll let it there.
"Hey Ian, love you."
Okay.
They haven't talked to him, by the
I've
way.
never
No,
seen
but
him. I don't even know
Annie's
what
got
he
a
looks
relationship
like.
with him
yeah,
now.
we're best friends.
Okay.
And so I've always said, we push him down the stairs, we blame it on Ian.
Oh.
We could easily get that.
I don't know because
Push him down the
I've
stairs,
never
blame it
said
on
a
Ian.
word to Ian, so I don't know if that's
Oh,
gonna
you don't
like
think
work.
that Ian has, like a beef with you? He has a whole beef.
No,
He's
he
been
doesn't.
complaining for weeks. We've been
Don't
putting in
you all
complaints.
have ring cameras though?
No.
No, I haven't put it up yet. No.
You should probably set that up.
I should because
Yeah.
It sounds like Annie is
trying
trying to
my
kill
demise.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll cut to this
Wow.
in 3 weeks.
Cut to.
funeral.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
this
no.
is the smoking gun right here. This is our Mar-a-Lago.
Where I would
just got
hide
raided.
documents on Mar-a-Largo going way back.
Yes, if you could, please.
Which I'm just saying, maybe people should check this. I would do, like, we have like a little gravestone from my pet.
Okay.
I'd hang that buried in the grave, but in the gravestone itself.
Okay. Hear me
Hollowed
out.
out the gravestone.
Hear me out.
Check the gravestone.
Check Ivana's
FBI.
gravestone.
FBI, check the gravestone.
Jeez.
Oh
I'm just
my
saying
God.
it's kind of weird
that's
that
the
they
thing.
just buried her
That's the
there.
thing is like the FBI doesn't like. There's so many good places to hide something like that because they don't like tear the drywall out or break the
I don't
gravestone.
know.
You know what I'm
They
saying? Like they don't
have.
do
I
that
don't know.
stuff.
They've
Maybe
done
they
it
would.
before.
Maybe they would.
They've
I
done
don't
it
think
where
so.
I feel like I read an
You
article
got to turn that whole place upside
about
down.
like, and I don't even think it was FBI. I think it was just like a police search, and they like cut into their walls, and then they like found whatever they wanted and left, but then like left the family with this like torn up
Yeah.
house, and was like,
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Awful.
they can kind of do what they want, which is kind of the worst part, right?
yeah. So like,
Is
screw
it? I don't
'em.
know. It's in the name of justice.
Yeah, in
Nah.
the name of
It's what you people are all about, aren't you?
I'm with you though.
No.
Like a part of me thinks, what president doesn't have something from the White House? You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
totally.
And also like, and I also agree with Annie. I hadn't considered that this is like some sort of election block,
It's a huge
which
election year. Yeah.
which-
Really? You think so?
Oh yeah, you start running like end of 2022. You have your whole campaign 2023. You do all of the debates, everything. If you can get people before you even announce your campaign to think you're a criminal and write you off from the beginning, you're not even going to get on the Republican ticket.
I disagree because
Well,
Trump,
how did
got elected
Hillary-
the first time, and his whole thing is like he didn't play by the rules. He like was literally a criminal,
Well,
and
and
everyone's
also
like,
Hillary got
he's
far,
cool.
and
thing-
everyone thought Hillary was a criminal because she deleted all those emails.
But I feel like they
I mean, she
said
didn't
that
get
too late.
elected.
I feel like she was already the Democratic choice, and I feel like they pushed all of
She already
that
had
way too late.
supporters.
They did the whole like, oh, she's gonna be on trial like 4 days before the election or something.
Oh,
like
that's
that. It
right.
was
I
way
remember when
too
that dropped.
late.
I was like, oh, this is the final nail in the coffin for her.
Yep,
Do you really
yep,
think
same.
they could like? Could Trump get elected again?
Yes.
Yeah, he definitely
Yeah,
could.
Yes.
I think people
I think he
are
definitely
waiting
will,
for
by the way.
him.
I think
By the
we
way-
were in a very specific place when he got elected, and then we were in a different, equally as specific place when he
No,
didn't get
because-
elected.
because look
you
at
think
what-
we're back to
No.
2016?
Yes.
I
Like,
think at the very least we are going to have a Republican in the seat.
Yeah, as a side note, the Biden's approval rates are like the lowest they've ever seen in a
Right.
presidency. Like,
Sure.
like they don't
Well,
like
I
Biden,
mean-
and Biden is the he is the
do you
Democrat.
think he's
Look
going to
at
be
what
the
he's-
runner?
No.
No,
Oh no.
I
No
think
way.
I think they were hoping that this would game up Kamala
Yeah.
or Kamala, or how the hell
But
you
it
say
has
Kamala.
not done well.
Kamala.
Yeah,
Camille.
Kama.
Harris is not doing well in the
She's not
public
doing
eye
well,
either.
and I think the biggest thing is you look what's happened politically in this past, presidency. And I'm not saying it has to do with him at all. None of this was his action,
Right.
But Roe v. Wade getting overturned, everything that's gone on with COVID and how that has looked upon, the freaking government, like what's that thing? FDA,
Like response? Are you talking about the?
What's the CDC? The
Yeah.
CDC, like
CDC.
all the government-run programs, and like it's made government officials look like idiots.
But none of that has happened really under Joe Biden.
But I'm
It's
saying,
just been the
they're
fallout
gonna,
since.
they're gonna associate him to it.
Right.
I read this thing once, and I think it's very true. Is a first-term, like a one-term president, it really gets the short end of the stick because 4 years is just, the waves and the like ripples from the president
Yes.
The
before.
transition, yeah.
Have we ever
Yeah.
had a president that was elected and then didn't make a second term and then
all the time.
came back after?
You'd be
Yeah,
surprised.
no,
yeah.
it's only
time.
happened once.
Let's hear it.
Oh, really?
Only once
They probably
has
try.
only once has a president served 2 terms, but not consecutively.
I
And
thought
I
back in
gotta
the
look
day,
it
like
up.
when we first got this country going, it
Yeah.
happened all the time.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't think
But
so.
maybe not. I don't know.
I'm
Teach
gonna
him how to say goodbye.
Say goodbye.
the church version you said was
The
hilarious.
church version of
Oh.
Hamilton? Yeah.
I love
ooh.
those stupid videos, man. Those are so funny.
Explain to the listeners what it is.
We're talking about. Didn't we have a watch party of like the Avengers one or something?
Yeah, we tried to watch it. So there's a church
this
that does
big
these
mega
things.
church that are rewriting history and rewriting like musicals so that they can put them on, and it's like
It's in the name of like.
Is Hamilton Jesus?
yes,
Yes.
Hamilton
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh,
No,
Yeah.
he's not Jesus. I think in that one specifically, Hamilton is like not a Christian, and then he becomes a Christian. Like,
Oh.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they rewrite the story for him to being like,
What?
I don't need Jesus,
and
it
then
was
at
like,
the end, it's like, what is a legacy? It's believing in Christ Jesus.
Stop.
You don't
Yeah.
get to see
Instead,
like.
the son of a Herod instead
Yeah,
of a whore.
yeah. Harlot.
Harlot.
yeah,
Yes.
it's a lot.
That's so cringy.
Yes, it is.
To
You're
answer
right.
the question of what president served 2 non-consecutive terms, the only
Thank
one
you,
who's
Annie.
ever done it is Grover Cleveland.
Okay, yeah, old guy. You know what I'm saying?
Grover Cleveland.
He served-
Was he the one that got stuck in the
All
bathtub?
presidents are old.
Yeah,
No,
but
that
like
was,
presidents back in the day
Taft.
when this all started, they were like middle aged.
Taft.
Now I
Yeah.
feel like presidents like today, like
He served-
Obama was like one of the youngest presidents
That's
we've
because
seen in a long time.
nobody trusts what is it, 37?
36.
Nobody
Nobody,
trusts a 36-year-old.
Nobody trusts him. But really, we're gonna elect 80-year-olds now. You know,
I
Joe
agree.
Biden's like 80
People
years
who've
old.
lived, I don't know.
Donald Trump's like
No, I
75.
think our next one is going to be
Enter-
everyone wanted on the Republican ticket.
Who do they want?
I wanted to say Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd.
Paul
And
Rudd.
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
Paul Ryan.
Yeah. Paul
Enter
Ryan.
on
And
the
he
Ryan,
literally
2020.
said no. He was
The
like,
Democratic
I'm
ticket
not
this
doing
year.
It.
Okay, yeah,
he
but-
got
Ready for my
elected
pick?
Speaker of the
Wait.
House and he didn't want it.
What
and he was
happened
like,
to
no.
Donald Jr. running?
Oh, God.
You really
yeah.
think that he's
Pass.
going to get anywhere? No.
He might. I don't
Yeah,
know.
he's kind of
No.
he's
He's got that
dumb.
same energy.
He-
Enter
it's the same thing
the
if-
Democratic candidate, Pete Buttigieg. Let's get that guy in office. He's a gay man. He's young.
Yeah.
He's got chutzpah. Let's get him in there.
Chutzpah.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'll be interesting. We're gonna come up on. Well, I guess we're not coming up on election season.
We're in
Never mind.
midterms though.
No.
Midterms.
Like Annie said, that's kind of like the key time
Just
to
imagine
start
when we
campaigning.
get
that's-
into
this
election
is
season.
literally-
we
yeah,
were in
this is
election season when we
election
started
season.
this. When we started this podcast. Well,
Were we?
Well, we kind of. I guess we're
started
coming
this
out of
podcast
it.
in
We're
20.
this is election season. 1 year to do all of your presidential campaigning. They're gonna travel all over the country. Probably make, like
Rallies.
Yeah, rallies
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. Like you're gonna see presidential.
Oh yeah, because
like
the election
announcements
is
at the end of this year.
Is the election at the end of 2023 or at the end of 2024?
2024.
End of
November.
2024,
November.
and then you come in really in the
new year
2025.
2025.
Yeah.
Why do I feel like Biden's been president for?
Because
He's been as president as long as we've done this podcast.
Here's what
It
I'll say
felt
about Biden.
insane.
I think the whole entire United States are kind of over him. I think because what they did in the last election was they kind of pinned a lot of the coronavirus stuff on
Yeah.
Trump, rightfully so. I don't know, but then when they
gonna
elected
say yes.
Biden, everyone was like, "Oh, it's gonna get so much better." And like as we saw, coronavirus has lasted, and that's not his
just does
fault
what it does.
necessarily, right? But they were hoping for him to come in and fix
Mm-hmm.
all these things, and he didn't. And then also the Ukraine thing, I don't think helped him at all either, because everyone wanted to take action in Ukraine. Now, whether or not we should have, or, whatever, I don't know.
Didn't we send like millions of dollars worth of guns
did.
over there or something?
We did. We sent aid.
And we said, good luck.
Good luck.
Yeah, but because he
Good
said like
That's, like,
we're
still
not
going on, isn't it?
It's still going
Yeah.
on. That's the thing that is so crazy.
I
It's
just literally
like,
talk about it like it's a past
But you
tense.
can't win
the
like
Ukraine thing.
if he would have launched full scale, like, oh, we're gonna send like troops over there, which we did to
well,
some
especially
extent.
since he automatically take everyone out of Afghanistan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing.
that
All
whole
of
thing.
these things are.
They left like
he's not going to get
billions
elected
of dollars
again.
equipment out back over there.
But really,
and let
we
the
so we
Taliban
would
take
jump.
over it again.
Yep.
We would jump
They're
out
literally
of
they're
one
literally
war.
flying our Black Hawk helicopters
Yeah,
over there.
that's
We're
rough.
like, oh gosh.
Then it would be the same thing. We jumped out of one war and joined another war.
Yeah.
Like you can't win when you're the president. Like there's no like big win outside of like
I do think that there were moments in his presidency so far that even both sides were like, this is
No.
how you handle it, and he did like the opposite. It was like really, bro.
Like leaving Afghanistan.
There's like
and-
everyone agreed that there's these phases you're supposed to leave,
Sure.
and he did it like legitimately reverse.
Over
he
the
pulled
weekend.
all the troops
Yeah.
out, and then tried to get the civilians out second, and it was like what? And then they ended up leaving all the equipment because it got overrun.
Well, and then at one point, wasn't there literally like a civilians like find your own way home? 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
literally.
the U.S. government is not coming to get you.
that's
it's
so rough.
crazy.
That was for Ukraine.
Well, and also Afghanistan, but
Yikes.
I mean the war on Afghanistan is its own subject because really we shouldn't have been there to begin
Have
with.
you ever
but
seen? So interesting. It's a movie called Vice.
Yes.
No, I've heard-
No, I never
no,
seen it.
isn't there a
Maybe
TV show
Let's watch it
called
tonight.
Vice? It's a
No,
YouTube.
it's
called Vice.
Christian
and
Bale
it's
is
Christian Bale
Dick Cheney.
as Dick Cheney,
Oh.
and it basically talks about how Dick Cheney truly like carved the role of vice president, and how he kind of used George Bush in like to basically
Huh.
give
Meat
him
puppet.
control of the military and like created the war on terror.
Yes.
yeah, and he made a bunch of
And-
money off of it, right?
Yeah, and like it's so.
That's also how War Dogs,
interesting.
the movie War Dogs, is like a step back from that.
That was my final paper in college. Is
Whoa.
how
Ripping off Vice. Just
is-
watch the movie and read a report on it.
Smart.
my book report on Vice. No,
report
but
on Vice.
how the Bush administration has forever changed how the U.S. government interacts with the military.
Yeah.
We should watch the movie tonight.
It's a good movie.
All right.
Oh,
It is
John's
so
not into it. Never
freaking hot
mind.
in here, guys.
I know. I
I'm
know.
into
I'm
it.
Okay,
Different movie.
speaking of hot scandals,
Hot
Okay.
scandals.
Hey,
we're talking about scandals.
Hey,
comma,
just like
hot.
Vice, you carved out your own transition, and that was great.
Thank you.
Well
Shakira
done.
also might go to jail.
Oh, I
Yeah,
heard about
Donald
the tax
Trump.
evasion.
What is
Tax
what is-
evasion. $8 million.
No.
$1 million
Yeah,
she didn't pay?
Shakira.
Shakira,
It's tax evasion in Spain, by the way. It's not even here.
She's facing 8 years in prison.
In the Spanish prison?
Why?
Yeah, it's in Spain.
She didn't pay money.
Just
By the way, the
taxi?
memes have been popping off.
I haven't
Shit,
seen
like,
any
the
of
ones
this.
where it's like when the prison guards on Shakira starts
and they're
singing
dancing
her song,
outside the
they're like,
cell.
Oh my gosh. So
Okay,
she's going
so-
to jail. Not
She-
like, oh, she could go to jail. Like she's there.
I mean,
she's going there.
Well,
it
Okay,
doesn't
my
sound
question
On
like-
is
trial.
the IRS of Spain.
Yeah.
The Edis.
How did they like not know until it gets to like $8 million?
I think
Well,
they
here's-
just hold on to
No,
it. They're
they
just
know.
No,
like,
no. I think
know.
at
Did you say
at
$1 million or $8 million?
eight,
I read 8 million.
the celebrity level though.
I'll double check
At the
it.
celebrity level, you as a government, first of all, we already know government departments are overwhelmed and don't do a great job at.
But
you
this
know,
is Spain. They could have
But-
really good.
Hey,
But
they
the
didn't have any
tax
problem telling me I did my taxes
But
wrong.
the,
So
but the reality
Oh,
is
shoot, it's-
they don't know
$15
celebrities.
million.
50, 50,
15,
15.
$1.5 million.
They don't know
or
where they're
euros.
filing. That's the other
No.
thing. Like Shakira is making money in all these countries, so it's very easy to like not know that Shakira's not paying her taxes because she might only be making money mostly in the United States or mostly in a different country.
So her defense is it is a 3-year period between 2012 and 2014.
Oh my gosh, a long time ago.
And they accused her of evading taxes of the amount of 14.5 million euros, nearly 15 million American dollars.
Yeah.
And she is claiming that it was a 3-year period in which she had not officially moved to Spain. So she probably owned property there.
oh,
There you
And and it
See?
was probably making money there. But she was like, "Well, I didn't really live there." Where it's like,
She's
no,
not going to
that's not
jail.
how that freaking works.
No,
She's not going to jail.
No, something's
She's
gonna
not going to
happen.
jail.
No, she's
That's
doing
such
something.
a loophole. That's such a loophole.
doing
She'll just pay
something.
it, and then it'll be like, okay,
Yeah.
cool, whatever.
That's my other thing is I never understood why they would offer jail time for tax evasion. You know what I'm saying? Like I
6 charges.
like how just make them pay it back, right? Like why are we going to prison over
Well, I think
some
you
money?
can. It's
you
because
know?
people don't want to give up their
I
money.
think if you set like a,
or if you don't have that money,
it's like
too.
you make it a reoccurring thing. Like you don't have an intention to pay taxes. It's like, okay, now you're effed. Because yeah, you can not pay taxes for years, and then
Yep.
eventually they'll hit you with a, oh, okay, now you're going to jail. Tax
Yep.
evasion.
I also the most ridiculous thing to me is when I hear stories about people who like literally like normal Americans getting audited, like
Yeah.
my parents type. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? It's like really. My parents like don't make that like they make like a decent amount of money, but it's like really we're worried about my parents and not the millionaires
if
that get
they're
the
not
write
paying
off
their
all the time.
Oh no, because those guys are paying off the IRS. So I'm not surprised by that.
Alongside an 8-year prison sentence that she's facing, she would also be looking at a $23 million fine.
Yeah,
Because
that makes sense.
Whoa.
It'll double.
Yeah, they're
inflation
like, hey,
carried the one, yeah, the whole thing.
Yeah, no, it makes no sense. But I'm having a hard time believing that that Shakira does her own taxes. Really, she's sitting there on TurboTax. So
True.
that means somebody
No.
that was
Screwed
advising
her.
her,
Someone
maybe a
screwed
whole
her.
team of people were advising her, like, "Hey, did you live in Spain for more than 6 months?" She's like, "No."
That's what
Stop.
makes
She's like,
Ryan.
that's what makes taxes so interesting is like even if you use somebody else like a licensed CPA or whatever,
Right.
you still sign the document.
still you.
It's still you.
still you.
I
Because
knew
you're the
somebody-
one answering the questions. Still.
right.
I knew somebody who was using a tax guy for a long time.
Uh-huh.
And it turned out the tax guy was doing them wrong, and you don't look over your tax return, right? Like
if you've
have
got a
somebody do
guy,
it,
you're paying a guy to do
right?
it. Why would he do it wrong?
Guess how much his fee was?
Oh, millions.
$30,000. This is a guy that
For
like
what?
works
Normal guy.
for like a couple years of misfiling. Like it wasn't even that 30.
Yikes.
It was like a normal like like my dad almost, and $30,000.
and if you don't have that money
Maybe
to pay
your dad's
back,
got more
you're
money
going,
than he's letting
I
on.
would go to jail.
It's not my dad. I'm saying
Maybe
it's just someone like
he's
my
embezzling
dad. Okay,
money.
he's not embezzling money.
Dan, for the
All of a
record.
sudden the IRS come
Dan,
up
for
to
the
my
record.
parents' store.
I
How
don't
does that
believe you're
start?
embezzling
Just
money.
like shoving a 20 in your pocket or something like that?
Oh yeah.
How do you
It's a
start
slippery slope.
embezzling money?
No,
know?
you take the money that you're supposed to do something with, and then you put it over here.
You put
Yeah.
it in a laundromat.
No, embezzling is like like you're filtering in money, aren't you? Or
No,
are you hiding
embezzling
the
is you're
money?
taking margins out of
Yeah.
something.
Laundering money. I'm
Laundering
thinking
money
one.
is where you're washing it.
Yeah,
But
embezzling is
embezzling
like
is taking.
You're washing.
is where you're washing it. Yeah, you're making it clean.
You take
Clean
it
money.
to the laundromat.
Yes.
No, that's genuinely what it is.
No, embezzling is one for you and one for me.
Yeah.
And one for you and one for me.
You're just taking a little bit off the top.
You're saying,
that's
oh
not
yeah,
noticeable.
I've been using all this money for this company, but actually I've been using it for
That's Al
myself.
Capone. That's how that's how they got Capone was he just didn't file his taxes right.
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Didn't he die of?
That's how they got
Broken heart.
That's how they got
Didn't
Martha
he die
Stewart
of
too.
syphilis in prison?
Broken heart.
Oh, okay.
That's how they got Martha Stewart. It's not that hot, Annie. You're
I'm
being a little
literally
dramatic.
sweating. I'm sweating. I can feel the
I mean,
sweat
it's
dripping down my
crazy.
head.
They're like-
you refuse to put on the AC today.
No, yeah.
I have a
Yeah,
hot.
no,
feel
that's-
my
we do it
thigh.
every
I have
week.
a hot iPad on my thigh.
Okay, then put the
It's
iPad
crazy.
on the
They
couch.
Oh my
they
gosh.
fronted up Shakira. They're like,
I-
Shakira, you owe us $15 million. She's like, oh, baby, when you talk like that.
John, hand me that.
It's
John, hand
impressions.
me
No,
the
it's
vast
impressions.
video.
I'm not asking. I'm not handing you. anything. I'm not handing you.
What else
There you
happened
go.
this week already?
I don't know. I deleted Twitter.
You deleted Twitter.
Yeah, it's getting too much. I was on it when Comic-Con was happening, but then I
I will
deleted
say
it.
that it
Let's
is
see
kind of
what's
sad
trending.
that like Olivia Newton-John dies and
Yep.
Mar-a-Lago gets rated, and the top #1 trending thing is that Mar-a-Lago gets traded.
Yeah,
gets
that's rough.
rated. You know,
Poor thing.
Like Olivia Newton-John
What
wasn't
is
even
a
in the
legacy?
tops. You know,
Okay, that's nice, Annie.
Can I look up
Yeah,
trending?
fan those
Trending.
pits off.
I'm dying.
We can
I'm
talk
not on it.
about do we talk about couples here? Celebrity couples, or are we
Couples?
done with that?
Oh gosh, Pete and Kim.
Oh.
They done.
They broke it off.
They done.
They're done.
Right.
I mean, are we like that? Like,
I heard I was getting my lashes done today, which is part of the reason I feel like I'm hypersensitive about this
Pete
heat.
and Kim.
Can't sweat on
Oh,
these bad boys.
True.
I was talking to my esthetician, and she is a big follower
Kim girl?
of the Kardashians, and she
Okay.
gave me this interesting conspiracy theory.
Okay.
And they said they think that Pete and Kim could have been a stunt, a publicity stunt.
Yeah.
Publicity.
Okay.
Publicity.
Who's
They
publicity?
could have been.
They
For
could
who?
have been because it was the same time in which they got together when
It was 9 months exactly.
Tristan and Chloe, their surrogate had gotten pregnant at the same exact time that the scandal came. Their surrogate. Surrogate. What did I say? Surrogate. Surrogate. Their surrogate got pregnant at the same time that it came out that he cheated on her again and got another girl pregnant at like the exact same time.
He being who?
Tristan, whatever his face, that's dating Chloe. That's Chloe's baby daddy.
I don't know, dude.
And so they said maybe this
So
whole
hard to
and now
track.
maybe the Pete and Kim thing is that they're breaking up to take, all
Okay,
of
but
the
he got
attention
tattoos.
off of. Yeah, he did get tattoos.
He got tattoos.
Well,
of-
they
they're
obviously
saying maybe
they
it's not
didn't
a real
clue,
breakup.
They didn't clue Pete in on the. You just knocked.
Oh,
over
they
your
never do.
LaCroix there.
They
Is that
never
empty?
do.
They didn't clue Pete in. Pete
Wasn't
was
empty.
maybe
Wasn't empty.
Pete
thought
maybe
it was
really
wet.
did want to hook up with Kim, but
Well, didn't she
No, they
only
never
the
say
do.
Empire says, "Oh, this will
Well,
this
the big
will work
thing
for
is
us."
he literally
Poor
quit
guy.
SNL.
for her?
Yes, to be on their new show for Disney Plus.
I don't know if that's why. I think
Yes, it's why.
Well,
'Cause
okay, he's
okay,
also
how
like
long
severely
was he-
depressed.
I know, but how
Well,
long
isn't
was
that
he?
his whole thing though?
the whole
Yeah.
season.
Sad boy.
He was barely in the season because he was dating Kim, and didn't have time.
Sure. Maybe he was on SNL because he was depressed,
That's
and maybe it
I
was
just
actually
don't-
healthy for him to leave the show.
I don't understand how you could look at a person like Kim Kardashian, or just the Kardashians in general, and think that you're going to be around for long.
or
if you're
have
dating
like
them.
some
You know
kind
what
of
I'm saying?
legitimate relationship. I don't know. Maybe that's like shame on us for thinking that.
I
You know,
thought
like
Scott
they're
Disick
real
and
people
Courtney were gonna
too.
stay together.
yeah.
I
that
just
was
don't
sad.
understand how you could get like start dating Kim Kardashian and go like, yeah, this is my forever girl. Like
No.
you just like there's just
She's
no
the
way.
one. It's like
you
it's
know?
literally Kim Kardashian.
like she's and I would even say like it's a reflection of you. It's like you just got to know that Kim is going to be over this in a year, and when she's over it, she's going to
Maybe.
dump you, right?
Yeah.
I just hope it doesn't end up being like
I would
her
never
and
get
his
involved in
and
people like that.
Ariana Grande's breakup, because that breakup was like
Rough.
Rough.
he fully went into like
Hey, that got
spiral.
us thank you next. So you're welcome.
That's true.
Thank you.
you.
Do you think he
Next.
gets royalties from that?
No,
you.
his
Absolutely
name isn't
not.
in it.
Do you think Taylor
Oh my
Swift
gosh.
has to pay $1 for
Everybody,
Jake
no.
Gyllenhaal every time she sings that song? The
No.
10-minute
No, it
version?
doesn't say his name.
No, he
I'm
gets
just saying.
nothing.
It's his
And I
likeness.
think that's strategic.
What about
True.
What about Dear John Mayer?
Nobody. There's so
He
many
gets
Johns.
a nickel. He gets a nickel every time she
No.
sings that song.
I think no, he doesn't. But
I think it's just kind of like petty songwriting, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
sure.
To some degree, it's
Got him.
like you don't have to on a technical level, you know, but if you're gonna write something about somebody and make millions off of it, you know,
But
send them a gift.
I think
right?
they're right. That's what the lawyer would say. Is like, that's not John Mayer. You
not
can't
about
prove
John
that that's
Mayer.
John
No,
Mayer.
legally, as I'm saying, legally you can't do anything. But,
just saying
you
in
know,
good faith.
It's like if you were gonna write a song about your relationship with somebody, and celebrities are in a whole different like, you know, realm. You know,
To
like
your
it's-
same point, like
Harry Styles could literally be like, "That's my song, Style. That's about me," and everyone would be like, "No."
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
Harry Styles, we never go out of style. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Oh my god.
Well, that whole album's about him.
Yeah,
Each album
was
that's
about
what
a
I'm
different
saying.
person.
It's like it's hard because as a creative person, you want to obviously make music about your experiences,
About your
but
life.
when you're exposing elements of a relationship that was between you and another person.
But he got his justice. He had the
Who did?
Netflix special in which
Pete?
which that whole stand-up special in which a huge chunk
yeah, he
was
could have
about
gotten that
his
anyways.
breakup.
He could have gotten that at Netflix
But I'm
anyways.
saying that he got his creative outlet about the breakup there, and she got hers.
It's
in
all
the
free
songs.
game. Yeah, sure.
I'm not defending Pete. I think Pete should have known, but it's just crazy that like we still care about Kim Kardashian. You know,
They're the royals
Oh,
of
I agree.
America.
It's just-
They really
it's the
are.
same
Insanity.
thing. People sit there for hours and wait up to see what what the Duchess of whatever is doing.
They
and
end
we're
their
like,
Duke
why would
of
they do that? Who cares?
Wellington.
And we sit and we watch the Kardashians for the last 15, 25
they
years.
ended
whatever.
their show and everyone was like, "Yeah, good, end it. Like we're done with it." And then they literally launched like a Hulu.
Nope,
It's
Disney Plus.
Exact
Disney?
same thing.
It's on Hulu,
It was
isn't
They're
it?
on Disney
Nope.
Plus.
It's
They
definitely
have
on Hulu.
Hulu.
Well,
Yeah.
they have.
It's not on Disney Plus, that's
Yes,
for
it
sure.
is.
Well, then it was
What are we talking about?
The
the
Kardashians.
Kim K. You think the Disney they put that on Disney
No,
Plus?
it's. I think
No,
it's.
they have a
it's
Hulu
called
one.
like the Kardashians
It's on Hulu.
Yeah,
again.
it's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
I
Pretty
don't
sure
know.
It's on Disney Plus.
Let's check it out.
Disney Plus
talking
for
about-
a second.
What's
Hold
it
on.
Yes.
called? Keeping up with the
Yes.
Kardashians.
Disney
No, it's
Plus.
just called the Kardashians.
The
They dropped the Keeping Up.
Kardashians.
I could have sworn I saw it was on Hulu. I don't.
No,
It's
I
on.
think
It's on Hulu.
It's on Hulu.
It's definitely not Disney Plus. Why
Why
would
dang?
Disney put that
Yeah,
on
that's
their
kinda rough.
platform?
It's okay,
I
Cara. It's okay. It's
fully
because you're
thought
overheating.
Disney
It's because
Plus.
you're overheating.
They are. You know what? The Kardashians has a 33% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Well, yeah, it's trash TV.
It's horrible TV.
Well, it's because when they started, it was supposed to be like this, following a celebrity family, but now they're so
Yeah,
in
Pete
this.
Davidson is in it.
They're literally so in this
guy.
realm where they're like mega rich that
Yeah.
nobody wants to watch rich people be rich.
rich.
No,
It's
it's
like
But they
annoying.
do.
Who the-
But they do. Millions of people
I mean,
watch it. They
the
do want to
ratings
watch
are-
it.
In
To be
Pasadena.
fair, we do. Right?
I don't. I'm
They
just saying.
do.
I wouldn't
Not
watch it.
Not we, of course, but like
I mean,
No.
obviously, some people like
Big
to watch
we.
it, but
Big
I
we.
think they
Big
lost.
we.
I think they lost a lot of their steam because it's less personality, more like, what rich thing are we doing today? It's not like.
oh, but
Well, it's
people
also
love
because
that.
it's
like,
drama in between the
life
family
of the
always.
rich and the fabulous.
If you watch the early Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I've seen clips of like the early stuff, and they were like, and it was just like any other reality TV show,
Sure.
right?
Yeah.
There's
Just
obviously
following
these
a family.
narratives that they're like pushing on these characters, and they're forming characters. It's almost like a scripted show,
Oh,
except
it
for just
basically
right.
was.
But it was very much like that.
By
They
Kris
had
Jenner.
these roles
Yeah.
for Kendall and Kylie, like in the show as kids. They were like playing like
Yeah.
these. Oh, I'm a teenager thing, But now I feel like it's transitioned. I haven't seen any of the new stuff, but I would imagine it's transitioned now to where they're so famous that they're like,
Oh, well, now
just
it's like
being-
following them on photo shoots,
Right?
following
Yeah.
them on whatever they're
Private
And like
jet.
the drama of their life, and oh my gosh, like
There's no
being
character
there, it's
shaping
Kim gets
happening.
the call that Chloe got cheated on again,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
like how do we handle the PR of this and all this stuff? Where in the beginning it was like, oh, Kim, Chloe, and Courtney all work at the clothing store that they own, and they work in the store. And
We
like,
went there.
Oh, we have what was it, Dash?
Yeah. I have a keychain.
Like going
It was
to
the one thing I
Dash.
could afford.
could you imagine
Yeah, makes
the
sense.
production
Seems right.
on that show? There's literally a PA that goes, "Oh, Kim's like, I'm gonna call Chloe and tell her about this," and the PA has to like call the other PA who's with
Yep.
Kim and go, "Make sure you're recording," because she's about to get a phone call. Like literally, that's how it is all
I
the
bet
time.
you the whole thing is and I bet you they're probably filming at all times now.
Oh, yeah.
because they can't afford not to. It's gold mine. Everything they do is like, oh yes.
Well, now it's like
they're
documentary style. So
walking the
before where they
dog.
had to pretend like cameras weren't there, now they can like interact with
Yeah.
their crew
They had
and stuff.
talking heads and stuff. In the,
Yeah,
in the
but
old
now
one.
it's like truly like they're like, hey, camera
Documentary style.
person, blah blah blah, all this stuff like talking because
Yeah,
I saw a
interesting.
clip
Hey,
that
Jeff.
Kanye was on it and he was like picking up the kids from their like Kim's house and. He was saying something like, "Oh yeah, don't talk about the cameras. Can't talk about the cameras." And Chloe was like, "Nah, it's documentary style. You can totally talk to the cameras. Like it doesn't matter now." And he was like,
Should,
"Oh,
should they
cameras."
allow Kanye to
Dude,
talk to the
Kanye,
cameras?
I can't imagine.
Hey, so now that they're broken up, are we Team Kanye again? 'Cause,
No.
I don't think he needs
I'm
help.
team mental health
team-
awareness.
Mental health awareness.
Worry about them. Look, I'll stay Kanye team.
Hey.
Team Kanye till the day I die. So
You know, what? I don't understand why our game Yay or Nay never really took off. 'Cause
That was classic.
Nay.
That was a classic.
Look, we
We'll
don't
boost
always
that up.
strike lightning,
Yeah, it's
but
true.
we do.
Hey, you know, it took Lizzo a couple years before Truth Hurts blew up. Yay or nay is around the corner, guys.
Wow. Truth or hurts. I don't know. Whatever. Like,
Okay.
what is the show even about?
I don't know.
I
anymore?
don't know, but we're all about to have heat stroke, so
No, we're not even at an hour yet. You
Yeah,
have
we
to
are. We're
I don't
Take
care.
a
I literally
breather.
see sweat beads on
I'm
Ryan's
dying.
forehead. That means we're done.
No, it
let's
doesn't
do
mean
a
we're
quick
done.
highs and lows for the viewers.
I can turn the air on if it's that big of a deal.
No, it's not that big a deal. Really, you guys? Like we've never sat in this room when it's hot before.
This
Come
is
on,
the worst
give me a break.
it's been.
No, it's
Okay,
not.
well then let's do a quick highs and lows for the viewers at home. John, take it away.
Highs and lows.
Yes, just one high and one low, and then we'll wrap the show up.
I don't really know.
he's gonna prolong this as long as he can.
Low is that I had to work night shift on Sunday. Meh.
Yeah, how'd that go?
It was okay. Night shift is just like
Do you
the
get
hardest.
anyone calling?
Yeah, I mean for sure, like once an hour. But the hardest hour is 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. because it's
Really?
like I can do.
That's
I can
the
do,
witching hour.
I can do till like 2:30 on my own and be okay. Like I can stay up till 2:30 and feel okay. But as soon as it hits 3, I start to get really tired. And then right around 4:30 is when everything kind of picks back up. Like people start coming into work and it kind of picks up. So yeah, it was okay, but like not my favorite. I feel like I'm still turning myself around sleep wise, which sucks. But because last Friday I felt like I was back in the swing of things from my vacay. High is that I don't know. I got to see Top Gun last night with my family. By the way, great movie.
Yep.
I don't think I've seen the full Top Gun 1, but it was a great movie. Top Gun 2 or Maverick was
whatever it was.
beautiful piece of cinematography. Tom Cruise, he just gets it.
He's so old.
In the preview, it was
Yeah.
like, ugh.
Yeah.
And then in the movie, he looks good, but in the preview, I was like, who is that?
Yeah, when he's like talking like, thank you for seeing it in theaters.
But yeah, it was a great movie. It was very, I felt like it was a very emotionally like,
Dang,
it was-
that's a long running theater.
yeah,
Well, they're making their money, so.
yeah.
Still in theaters? Wow.
It's good that you should see it.
Okay.
The
I
lawn
saw it
has
at the lot, so.
The lawn has movies for a long time, though. I feel.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
I
true.
love the lot.
Yeah, but I feel like they don't have many movies.
I'll tell you what
No,
though.
yeah.
I want to make a movie theater that doesn't do all the food like the lot does, but just serves coffee, like to your seat. Almost like a coffee bar movie theater.
Yeah,
'cause
but then
I
you'd
could
have
do
to
that all
shit
day
all
long.
the time.
Okay, that's you specifically.
That's everyone with coffee.
Not necessarily true. That's very specific
You
to you.
literally have your coffee at the beginning of the movie, and an hour in, you'd be like, I gotta go. And
Okay,
then you miss
that's
the
not
movie.
true.
and then
for
you come
everyone,
back the
though.
next time because you missed that part.
That's how the
Genius.
business makes money.
Yeah.
All right. Any high though.
Okay, my low is definitely this heat wave. It has been like 80s to 90s every day.
And
for
you
like,
don't have AC in
and
your
I
place.
don't have
Dang.
AC. And my thing is like,
You guys, all three of you don't. Wow.
yeah, it's been rough for me. It's been really rough, and I don't have airflow.
Yeah.
And and I can't sleep without a cool breeze. So it's been rough. Not getting a lot of sleep lately.
I can tell. I can tell by your attitude today. You haven't got a lot of sleep.
Yeah, you
I'll
got a
end you.
serious
I will
attitude
end
today.
See, and that's the fire that I'm talking about right there.
Yeah.
That is the
And
energy
you-
that I'm referring to.
I'm John, and I get plenty of sleep with my air-conditioned bedroom.
Yeah, I have 2 air conditioners. I have
I
AC
freaking
in my
hate
apartment,
you.
and then I have a personal unit in my room that blows all night long.
Stupid whore.
I can't sleep it unless it's cool.
My high would just be, other than that, business booming, hanging out
Oh,
with friends.
business
Been-
booming.
Business is booming, baby. It's been
Nice.
good. Been good.
Business booming.
Cara? Wow.
Low, probably driving home from Hume.
Oof, yeah.
It literally, getting there felt like it took no time at all. Coming back home felt like it took 10 hours.
Yeah, I just found out that you get car sick in literally every car, so that's kind of cool.
True.
Yeah.
Pretty much every situation where you can.
Hi. I don't know.
Good
Nothing
answer.
good
I mean,
going on.
specifically today, it was a good work day. Like at work, it wasn't busy. It
You
was
got to
literally
see-
like
got to see
the
me.
best crew, because it was like the whole group that we were working with was like everyone who like we all went to a bonfire
I saw that. How
a couple weeks
cute.
ago.
Bonfire
And then like
crew.
one of their roommates came in and she was at the bonfire and it was literally just like the core group of people. And we were like, yeah, this is a
Cute.
good group.
Just the core friends.
Core group. Good day at work. That could be high.
Good day at work. That's a good high.
Right, guy. Higher
Ryan,
and
what
low.
about you?
Low is I just spent a whole 2 days working on some lights at the church. Up on a tall ladder. Thought I might die.
I thought you were gonna die too.
Mini high is John was there to help me. So
Aw.
that was a
Mini
good-
high.
my big high lately is I don't know, man. It's just good time. My sister's back for the summer.
Yeah.
That's a good high. I've been taking a lot of pictures.
Aw.
Got the old camera rolling. Got
Yeah.
some new film. You know, it's just the good group. You know, it's a good core
Core group of people.
Good core group of people. Just found out we're gonna get new windows and air conditioning at our house. So
Annie, you'll be
soon.
Fuck
You'll
off.
be
yourself.
Fuck off. End this stupid show. End this stupid podcast.
End this stupid show.
Turn on the freaking AC.
Well, everyone. We hope you've enjoyed What the podcast.
We've hit an hour. You can talk faster.
On the couch as always, Cara, Tafolla, Annie the Skovmand. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And we'll see you next week on What the